Please subscribe to help you and your motorcycle perform better.
Dave Williams, editor here with today's video. Cordona quick shifter testing. Time to test the Cordona shifter we installed last week. Well, it was all done weeks ago, but in posting time. Dave puts the Cordona quick shifter through its paces to come up with some settings and actuator poundage and kill times and warp drives that all work best for him and his riding style. See how it happens.
Alright, so we'll test the shifter. Right now it's at the factory default of 80, as you can hear from the shift. I need to test that kill time to see if it's appropriate, and if it is appropriate, can I go more kill time, 80, 90, or do I need less to 70? Alright, I am free and clear. Okay. Too long. Yep, kill time's way too long. So I literally tell that fast, which is the best part of this. Because my shifting is precise and my foot pressure is quick, so right away we know that's the wrong one. So we'll come in. Yep. So now I've got to decide what I want to set it to. So this, as I have no idea about the product in terms of its effectiveness by kill time, we're not going to go 2 milliseconds. I'm going to make a big change. I'm going to go from 80 to 70. This is the beauty of testing. It doesn't take long at all if you're very focused on what you're doing and where you're going with it. You can hear the shift and then the whir afterwards, so yeah, all wrong. So the rear bodywork is off the bike, specifically for this purpose, so I can get right to it. So we're going to go from 80 to 70. Right, we've got to find kill time. Is that T80? Yep. Nope, missed it. So we're going to go to 70. Okay, back on the bike, try again. Nope, not enough. Damn it. But that's just my initial impression now. So let's stay with it for a lap. Now remember, it only works over 5,000. Okay. It's better, definitely better. So let's try it on the fast sections and see what we get. test from here down to sweeper. Go. That's not bad. Think we should try 60. Okay, so we'll come in, we'll change it to 60 and go back out. Definitely try 60. Try 60. Okay. Feels better. That feels snappy, real quick. Got to check if anybody's coming. Yes, we got one. We'll let him go. Much nicer. Oh yeah. Now I can feel the shift occur and the fuel come back in precisely. Still in 6th gear, so we'll retest after Phil Hill. Alright, 2 gears to go. That is sweet. Ho, 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 ho. So now the question becomes, would 55 be better? Make the miss shift, you're going to pay for it. So that's fair. crisper. Oh, I'm loving that. I am loving that. So easy to put it in gear. Crisp goes right in. Upset the chassis at all as it lets the power come back in. So now we've got to make it worse or better either way by testing again. The other part is the shift is too high. I need to lower it, so we'll bring it down a notch on the spline because I've got no room at all between the combination of the shifter and the rod, and I'm going to cut something too short, so for the purpose of testing, just to move it is fine. Alright, so we'll reset to 55 and try that.
80 was a massive lag, as you'll hear in the commentary. 70 was a reasonable amount less, but not as much as I expected. And the time kill of 60, you've got to be extremely precise and put it into gear quickly. So the question now becomes, would 55 make it way too short a kill time? Or would 63, 64, 65 allow just that hair more time? I prefer to ride and have to ride accurately so that all my movements are precise. There's no laziness about it because that keeps you sharp. So I'm going to try 55 milliseconds just to see if it's impossible to shift in the time given. And if that's the case, we know 60 is a finite number that works but requires absolute precision in your shifting. 63, 64, 65 may give you just that little leeway. So we'll test either of those in the next two sessions. The other part for me that's important is that shifter is too high on my foot. So when I'm on the bike and I'm leaned over, I've already got to be close to 90 degrees here and go beyond it to shift. So I need to lower this lever down. Now, during the process of the build, we've got no room on the adjustments here on the rod because this is all testing, so nothing's cut to size. So the quick and easy thing to do is pull the bolt, move the spline one notch forward, just as a test to see if that position is correct, because then we can go back and spend half an hour getting the combination of rod and shifter correct in spacing and finalize the foot adjustment. But for now, we'll just move it one spline before we go on the next run. So a lot of work to do on a hot bike on a hot day.
So now the concern is at 55, it's too short. So if it's too short, I'm going to feel the gear as it goes in. So I'm in 5th right now. I'm going to drop it to 3rd for bus stop in Riverside. So I've got time to feel now. So 10, 11. In. Actually, that's better. I can't feel the gear, but we'll test again after Phil Hill. we've got there. I don't think so. You make a mistake, you're gonna pay for it heavily there. So I think 60 is gonna be the better number for now. Yeah. Let's see. That's a quandary. So 60 is gonna be comfortable no matter what. 50, I know 50 is just not going to work. It just flat out won't work. So we know 60 is what it is. 55, well, let's try 58. Yeah, let's try 58. That still feels nice and crisp, the 58. So it's going to be 55 to 60 for sure. I just got to play with it to see what works best. Okay. Certainly nice and smooth. Okay. Try it again, as we have time. Have to think about that so I can relax with it. So I think we'll stick there at 58 for me. The sensitivity level is perfect because I shift quickly. So to that end, the kilogram force makes perfect sense. Another quick couple of shifts. So effortless that I'm just not thinking about it. So that's wonderful. First up again. So let's get off. That worked fabulous. And there is a tangible difference in 3 points on the scale, so don't be afraid to run 246, for example, and see how that feels and how different that can be, because a 3-point difference, 0.3 difference is definitely substantial. All right, we're done with that testing. So changing the shift position, I actually brought it this way.
Which way?
Back to me.
Okay.
And that put it dead at 12 o'clock. We had it slightly forward on the next spline. So bring in the spline this way for GP shift, because it's got to be this way up for that, allowed this to drop. So what we're going to shoot in a moment is the position of the height of the ground here, flip it, and then put it back where it was and see what that height differential is, because this is too deep. So I need something in the middle, and we'll measure what that gap is and literally put it in the middle, which will tell us and indicate what we need to do here on rod length and how much we need to take away, so we do it slowly rather than cut a piece and have to buy a new rod.
Easy way to calculate this before we cut the rod. We are at 36 centimeters roughly to the center of the toe peg. So now let's pull that off and put it back where it was. Move it one spline forward. So it's 36. So it's a difference of literally 10 millimeters. So I want half of that, so I need it to drop 5. So now I have an empirical measurement, bike on the stand with the ground straight up. So now we know how to cut the rod to allow us to have the measurement we want. Right, in terms of kill time on the Cordona, 60 to 55 was a profound difference. So if you're working in point of an increment on this, you will feel it. So at 55, you had to be 100% crisp, perfect, your intent clear, and bam. If you were just hesitant ever so slightly, you'd feel the teeth on the gear as it was starting to shift. So the kill time was insufficient. But if you were at 100% accuracy in shifting, and that was your sole focus, I could make it work. Moving 3 points to 50.3 to 58, wow. I could think about it, and then nervous energy through to synapse to action. There was enough time there for me to make it shift and not have to distract my conscious mind to 100% shift. Bam, done. Here I could shift. So 60, that going back and then changing again gave me a realization that 60 will allow me to be lazy. I'd rather be focused at 58 versus 100% precise at 55. So I'm finding my natural spot as we go through the initial testing on the kill time. That may change when we come to the race event in 2 weeks, but we'll see whether that's going to be the case. But for now, I'm going to settle with a kill time of 58.
All right, so as we go out, now we're testing sensitivity. So let's try and assess. Marketing documentation says one thing, we're going to assess what the other level is. So I would think sensitivity is the amount of force you put into it. So the lower the number, the lower the force. So if you're a deliberate shifter, the level of sensitivity would be light. If you are lazy, then that would require a lot of force to push it down because you're taking too long to execute it. So we were set at 15, we're now at 12. So to me, when I switch it, I'm gonna go probably to 20 and see if it's actually much harder to shift, and if it is, then that makes perfect sense. So then just like I did with the kill time, I've got to find my sensitivity level that works for me. A whole lot of force to put that in, so now we'll see. Well, we actually should make a decent change, so let's do 23 because it was 15, so that's a big change, and let's see how noticeable that is. So right now it's on 12. We're going to make it flash. Now let's go to 23. Now we're going to hold him down simultaneously. Now it's set. Okay. So what we had was super smooth and not much downforce on my foot at all for the shift pattern. So let's see if this requires a lot more force or just a little bit more. And I know what 15 felt like from the previous tests. Oh yeah, definitely more force required. Wow, that's significantly different. Feel how much force you have to put into it. So 12 was for me butter smooth, so I'm gonna have to stay somewhere between 15 and 12. That's gonna be ideal for me. 20 required, well, what's the best way of explaining that? At 23 I put my foot on the shifter, it goes firm, and then I've got to push through it. So it doesn't suit what I want in force. So definitely 15 to 13 is where I'm comfortable. So the other part about 12 is it's going in when I put it in, and because I'm a very precise shifter, makes it easy for me. All right, coming off. That was worthwhile doing. It really does make it feel like you have to be deliberate, and I'm already being that way anyway, so why make it harder? Good question. Okay, so that was definitely too much. So we're on 23, let's change it. Let's go to 17 and test 17. Okay. That's much better. Interesting. So let's go back to our 3 test areas. straightforward, not much pressure required. Definitely liking that. So much better. One more test to confirm. Okay. Oh yeah, so much better. Okay. So interesting experiment now to find the sensitivity level between 17 and 12. So we'll test that on the race weekend, but at least now I have my goal at 15 for me being a deliberate shifter. That's probably a good place to start. If you're a little on the lazy side, then 20 makes makes a lot more sense. Sensitivity rating, that's an interesting thing all by itself. So at 12 it fell into gear with not much foot pressure, so then the experiment is, well, let's put it up there at 23. Now you hit a wall and then you got to push through the wall. So the other interesting part about that in regards to sensitivity is very simple and straightforward. If you're going for more poundage or kilogram force to put through there, you need more kill time because it's going to take you longer to put it in gear. That thought occurred to me while I was out there. So the more sensitive and quick you are and deliberate you are with your shifts, the less kilograms force you need to actually engage it in gear. So that's an interesting relationship where you can build the two together to perfectly match kill time to the speed of your foot moving or shifting. So be aware that when you tune the Cordona unit in, that is a key factor on getting everything correct so the unit functions to its optimal capability.
Schedule a remote tuning appointment for you and your bike with Dave via text, email, Facebook, etc. Contact Dave on Facebook or by email, dave@davemosstuning.com.